Hey, so I've gone live again. I'm just going to see if anybody pops up, anybody comes in. This is the daily energy reading that I do, where I give guidance, support to help you reach your highest potentials of any given day, combining the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to bring the narrative to you, to help you recognize the energies within you, around you, and within others, and make decisions for your highest potentials. There's my Peter. Hey, Peter, the little songbird. Thank you for coming in. So I'm going to see if any more people stream in, and then we'll get straight on to it. This is the reading for the 23rd of March, 2021. Wishing you all the best day where you can make the most of it for you and yours. So I hope you're well, Peter. Peter always gives in the chat there, he always can quote. Actually, I need to speak to him. I need some help. You can quote a song that really resonates with the message that I give out, or anybody gives out. He does it over in Wayne's channel too, and can perfectly place the words and the song accurately in the right context that really emphasizes the message that needs to be heard or needs to be understood. So Peter, I actually need your help for real. And I'm glad you popped up first. Will you email me at truedivinemedia@gmail.com because I need your help with song choice. So for something that I'm going to do. So I've been given the privilege through the beautiful Guy and Paul, and managed to meet a guy called Isaac George today, who is a friend of theirs and hosts a radio on kinderradio.org. So I'm going to be on there on Easter Sunday, so I'll make sure to put out the details with that. But I need some song choices that are no match me. Peter says, I bet you riders on the storm will vibe with your reading into this world. We are born into this life, we're thrown. Certainly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we are. And it is a ride for sure. And it is a ride in the storm for sure right now. Stormy seas that we're going through, both internally, and even if we're not, we're witnessing other people going through their emotional storms for sure. And then we have the leaders, the so-called powers that be, leaning into their psychopathy, leaning into their sociopathy, they're leaning into it. They're doing them. They're doing you do you, boo, kind of thing. So I'm going to get into it. Thank you, Peter, for being here, and hopefully some more people will come in. And if not, you'll catch it later on. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. So this is things being stolen from you in plain sight. This is thoughts, words being used against you. In particular, on the collective stage, we look at the attack on free speech. And the attack on personal authority, personal integrity, and personal freedom of independent thought. And so this is going on big style today, and it has been for a few days. It's been going on a long time, but they keep ramping up certain parts of their plan throughout this gestational spell that is COVID. And so we see today more talk about restrictions on freedom of speech, and we'll see it under the guise of a pretty label, as in it's to protect women's rights, or it's to protect people of a certain color, skin, or it's to do, but actually they're attacking all of those and everybody else. It's to protect an affiliation with a certain governmental side. So we'll see a lot of talk about that. In particular, they're going to really use the women's rights today to really amp up the need for these certain laws that they're bringing in, certain restrictions that they're bringing in, and certain police rights that they're bringing in. This needs to be taken seriously, and a lot of noise needs to be made about it for sure. This is for real. And we are going in, and I've said it over and over again, into the throes of World War II, stroke 3, and it has been a war on the mind, a war on independent thought, a war on togetherness. It has been a war to cause divisiveness and lack of independent thought, lack of personal authority. And so this is where we really do see this amping up, and we do need to meet this with force. We do need to meet this with noise, and with passion, to say, no, freedom of speech is the bedrock of societies that can flourish, that can be innovative, that can have the freedom to create. And it's been stolen right before your eyes. And if we don't do our part, each and every one of us, making it go viral on social media, speaking out, writing those letters, making sure you're taking photos and posting those letters so that other people can glean how you word it, can glean what format you put it in. Some people don't know. For sure, we need to stand up and stop this theft of rights, particularly in freedom of thought. I'm going to see a lot more talk about thought expression, being arrested for thought crimes, and the ability for police forces to roll that out and bring that to the fore. So keep an eye out for that, but make a noise about it, because it's already happening. This is just an energy that shows me that it's really ramping up today for sure, that they're really going to take it for all it's worth. And if people stay quiet, if people don't make it problematic for them, then they're going to do this. Look out in the US for more talk about gun rights. And again, through a lot of this gestational spell, they've caused a lot of people to be depressed, feel depressed, seek help for that depression. They're going to link that in with the safety of the people, again, under the guise of it's because we love you so much, it's because we want to keep you safe so damn much, that we're going to see that this is sort of linked. It's a plan, it's a circuit board that they're building up to. Freedom of speech being cramped down on, and following Trump's actual talk about taking the guns first, and asking questions later. This is the follow on. It does not matter what side is in. The people behind them, the beings behind them that are puppeting them, is what we need to be looking at. That is the head of the snake that we need to be looking at, and fighting these sides that are working with the same group. So Hangman Creations, hello Hangman Creations, much love to you too. Appreciate you being here. The other thing I was going to say is that I've picked up on this, and this is a vision, and this card brings this vision more to the fore, in that I see a spirit moving through what is police forces. There's this energy, this entity, this being, this spirit that is very much moving through and relishing in the violence, and the freedom of that violence, the freedom of that oppression that is being given to these forces. And we're going to start seeing the impact of that more so. I showed some footage yesterday of them really taking advantage, running people over for no damn reason, beating people up until they are still. Attack dogs actually attacking the officer. They're so ramped up. There's a real dangerous spirit moving through the police force. Now there's going to be a few that aren't going to resonate with that. They're not going to pick up on that, but I feel that they're going to suffer in a different way, feeling isolated from the rest of the force, being brought down, come down hard on for actions that are appropriate. And so look out for that, take notice of that right now it feels very much like more than ever the forces around a lot of the world have been are being infiltrated and hijacked by this spirit that is relishing in the energetic feedback that it is getting. And it's dark, it's really dark. And I don't always share these things too deeply because I know some people aren't ready to hear them. But at the end of the day, right now, it's like I do it now or never. I know that it's now, it's time, it's coming. Hey, Paul. Hey, honey. Thank you for being here. Paul from Newcastle. So yeah, that look out for this Seven of Swords. It's very dark, and it's things being stolen from you, rights being stolen from you, particularly with your thoughts, thought police, word police, and your actions, your freedom of speech, your freedom of movement. It really does need to be made you know, very apparent that we are not going to stand for this, because this is the ramifications of it are huge, and the things that they're going to bring in after that that are linked to this is huge, and it's all going to come under the guise like the Seven of Swords, as they're doing it because they care so much. That's the collective stage. Now, look out for this in your personal life. And I know this is difficult for some of you, and it will be difficult for some of you to take note of, that there may be people around you that are as above, so below, right? And so there are people around you that are willing to take from you, that are willing to actually steal from you, particularly intellectual property. So if you're having a thought in mind about your own progression, about your own growth, or about your own business idea, be careful who you share that with, be careful who you give that to. Because there are people around, a lot of you, that are willing to take it in plain sight, smile at your face and stab you in the back. And so have the wisdom to know that you don't have to give away everything of yours. Don't give away your thoughts to these beings that are behind these puppets and the so-called powers that be. And certainly don't give your power away and energy away, your thought energy, your very powerful manifestational energy, to these people around you that will take from it, glean from it, and then drain you and leave you high and dry. There's many people being affected in the collectives that are feeling that way. They're feeling thefty. Is that a word? They're feeling thefty. So higher mind, are they doing all of this because the cyclical event that's coming, and because people are waking up? Would make sense if you look at everything going on, just asking for another perspective. Absolutely, higher mind, and absolutely they have astrologers, they have people watching the skies and the cycles coming very, very closely, in particular since World War II. And so they know, they have plans in place. This is why we see the generational power, so-called powers that be, so that they can pass those puppets down, so that they know that they work for the plan. And the next plan is to hijack the next cycle that we would be going into of Aquarius, and where it would be a more collective point of view, a more together point of view. We're thinking outside of the box. And so they're doing everything to box everything in and bring in their wants, their needs in plain sight. And it looks like they're doing one thing, but they're actually doing very much more other things. What else did you say? And because, yes, there's a certain, I feel there's a certain amount that they know who were born during a certain time period that are ready for this cycle and came with certain authority within them, certain inner knowing, and there's many of us, but there's many more that aren't, and that, you know, they need to, one, figure out who we are in that, and two, limit what we can do coming into this. And so yeah, I would agree with you, absolutely. So on the bottom of the other deck, For the clarifying deck, we have the Knight of Wands. And so this is asking us to be able to be in connection with everything around us, with the people around us, with the nature around us, be aware, taking in the elements, taking in the air, looking at the way the wind blows kind of thing. And that would make sense to being very aware of this Seven of Swords, of this theft that's going on. Mutable, moving. So the Knight of Wands has a destination in mind, has a plan in mind, but has much more plasticity to it, has much more bend to it, in that it takes in the experience on the way too. So the Knight of Wands wouldn't mind going a few miles out of the way because something interesting was happening, which actually can build on the experience, which can then build on the success of whatever the destination in mind is. So to be flexible, to, while, like Higher Mind brought up, while we are being boxed in, while they're trying desperately, and some people around us are trying desperately because they're uncomfortable with truth, because they're uncomfortable with change, trying to box us in, putting these bird cages over our mind, over our thoughts. This is where we do have to fight back from within with our fire, and be flexible, be moving. You know, the tree that has some flex to it and has a balanced amount of roots underneath the ground as it does the branches above the ground, and the wind, it bends with the wind to a certain extent, and the wind can go through the branches to a certain extent. You get a tree that doesn't have that balance, doesn't have that slight bend, doesn't have that movement to it, then it's going to break. And so this is where we do have to keep that fire going, and it is difficult during this, especially when we have people around us that are acting in a mirror-like way to these so-called powers that be. It's difficult to keep that fire burning. It's difficult to not start to restrain and limit your thoughts and your passions and your drive and your wants. So it's important to keep stoking that fire that came up yesterday for yourself, to be able to get to where you want to get to, but also enjoy this experience and be innovative along the way, be creative like the Knight of Wands is. It could be that also this Knight of Wands today, personally, for some of you, brings a certain message that is uncomfortable, that is regarding the Seven of Swords, this thefty energy around you, which take note of it, observe it, think about it, and be very discerning, because your immediate reaction might be they wouldn't do that, but just look into it, just be really discerning with it. And so the first card on the actual reading, we have the Devil, Major Arcana. So we have this Devil, and so what are we doing here? In that one, I want to speak of, and I don't go into these usually on the daily readings too much, but I want to speak of this energy, these energies that I'm feeling, that actually I don't think have ever been, or for a long time, ever been in connection with what we deem as human beings. That this is a different kind of energy, and it's moving through us, it's moving through this realm, and what we do have is the devil within, for want of a better word. Now you can either be tied down in your lower chakra to the things that that would keep you limited, keep you tied to something that isn't good for you, addictions, things that aren't, relationships, things that just aren't really great for your well-being, but you feel tied to it, you feel hemmed into it, you feel like there's a lot of people that are becoming aware of these energetic cords that they have in connection to something, a substance, someone. Need to be dealt, it needs to be severed. Because then what we can do with the Devil card is that we have the inner diamonds, inner demons, diamonds, same thing. So we have these inner diamonds, these inner passions, these inner drives. Now, from the outside, there's a lot of playing with that through propaganda, through pornography, through different means to dilute and limit and oppress the beauty of the passions and drives and creativity of the lower chakra. And so what we have the challenge to do here is to sever the cords from those external forces that would either drive us or feel driven to an addiction or something that is not good for us, a relationship, a decision. But when we do that, we sever those cords. And then what we have is, yes, a difficult time in doing so, but we are left with diamonds. Now, those diamonds might be a bit rough. They might be a bit dirty, but what we're doing as we do sever these cords and have the bravery to face what is our own demons, then we can absolutely create those demons into chiseled, polished diamonds, which then gives a creative space and a passionate space within those lower chakras that is a foundation to build up upon, you know, that Kundalini coming from that space. So having those experiences, there's nothing lost here, because in you being brave enough to sever your ties to them, to sever your chains to them, then gives you the opportunity to create really firm and beautiful fractalized foundations of polished diamonds, lessons learned, you chiseling yourself, polishing yourself, creating these foundations that you can actually move up in your energetic spaces, in your chakra system, in a much more powerful way, in a much more determined way. And so we have the Temperance card, so two major arcanas together. We have the Temperance card to clarify this Devil card. And so this speaks of balance. This speaks of, you can see this guy's mourning something. So there's a loss here. Now, that loss for a lot of you will be these ties that you have that are holding you down, that are pinning you down to a certain construct, a certain way of being. And so with this Temperance card, we see that everything is in balance. And with the Temperance card, we learn how to transmute. So though these energies might not be the most comfortable, to chisel these inner demons, these inner diamonds, into something that is good, that reflects the light of our energetic spaces within, we then have the message that this is how we transmute energies, that we don't run afraid of them. We don't try to pretend that the chains aren't there. We actually face the chains, and we can melt those chains through transmuting the energies, through seeing things from a different perspective, through being brave enough to polish those inner demons into those diamonds. And yes, at first you might feel like you're at a loss with whatever chains you have severed from the Devil card. You might feel like it's a mourning period, it's a loss. Use that energy, collect those tears, transmute that energy through your body. Picture you severing those cords, those chains. Picture what it looks like when you are free of them, and allow yourself to move into that space. And that is the transmutation of energies. All is in balance. And so difficult energies, but energies that you can gain so much from, that you can build from so much. So it's not a loss, it's a gift, but it's only a gift if you can see it. It's only a gift if you can do it, and get to know thyself more without the fear of judging yourself, but more moving through the energies and learning how to transmute those energies. And so we've got the next card is the Three of Coins. And so this is talking about working together, projects, building things together, seeing projects through, everybody in the team having a role that emphasizes and brings greatness, more greatness to whatever project you want to do. So associate with the people who lift you up, associate with the people who have not even the same way of thinking, but the same energy, the same frequency that you can build with, that you can be with, that you can be innovative with. And so there's business opportunities here to be with people who are like-minded. Now we've got the Hangman, so this is packed with major arcanas. We've got the Hanged Man again, to clarify this Three of Pentacles. So this is something that needs to be looked at from a different perspective. Maybe an idea, a project that you wrote off and didn't think would come anything of it. That it might have seemed too obscure, too different, too quirky. Go for it. Look at it again and look at it from a different perspective, with the enlightenment of some of you. Devil card and Temperance card actually needed to just do some polishing and clearing of certain chains, certain people around you that were tying you to these chains. Hey, Truth Seeker, hi, honey. To be able to have the impetus and drive to not procrastinate anymore and actually move into this space of a teamwork that actually does work, and seeing that then from a different perspective, because your foundational self, your lower chakra, that used to be tied, your fire that used to be dimmed to whatever chains resonate with you, is now free. So you're free to see something from a different perspective, with a different foundation to work upon and from. And so the next card is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is where it's the energy of coming from the Three of Pentacles. Don't give up. Keep going with this, keep going with this idea, build it, and don't procrastinate on it, because when you're contemplating the hard work that you've already put in, but you want more, you need more to be able to sustain, this is where you take a step back, you look at the hard work that has already been done, and you appreciate a way forward, a way of gaining more sustenance in your reality, even more abundance, whatever that might be for you in your reality. For whoever is growing mushrooms, high five, that something's going to come of that. Go with that. That idea that you've been having regarding mushrooms, that is very powerful and would be very good for you in the pentacle realm, in the money realm, as well as doing something good in the wider circle. So we've got the Two of Cups to clarify this Seven of Pentacles. So I don't know why I want to say this, but 7, 8, 9, look at the number 9 and the abundance of the number 9 and the understanding of the number 9. Look at Tesla's work regarding the number 9. So the Two of Pentacles is speaking of this balance from within, the divine feminine and divine masculine from within, being able to see the beauty in life again, because you're coming from a different space, you're coming from a different energetic space. The cat here being very much the intuitive feminine, the very responsive feminine side, and the masculine being very protective and very action orientated. You can see this guy's muscly. And so also for some of you, this means through doing this work, through going ahead and not procrastinating and going down this route that you've contemplated before but never quite got it done with this Knight of Wands, actually means that there's good energy for you actually meeting somebody that is so balanced and has done similar work to you to balance and get rid of the energetic ties that held them to the Devil card, this energy that is limiting them. You actually attract in, for some of you, which is beautiful, somebody who is whole too, and there's this magnetism between you. There's this energy, like sparks flying between you, and there's an exchange of energy. There's no drain in here. There's actually an exchange of energy for you to work from. And some of you who are already in relationships, but it's maybe been a bit strained, particularly if it's regarding financially, it's been a bit strained, because of all of the restrictions and lockdowns, that it's gotten a bit dull. actually going ahead with whatever this project is with this Three of Pentacles, and doing that together and really going for it actually has a real good energy to revitalize that relationship and actually create a whole new relationship from different building blocks because of that inner work done initially with this Devil card. And for a lot of you, getting rid of this energy that was around the situation that was ready to steal in plain sight from you. It means that it's like meeting somebody new, but because you both have seen a different side of one another, working together, seeing the passion, seeing the drive and creativity has created something that is new to appreciate together, which brings more balance to the relationship. So whatever this project, this idea is, go for it. Whatever this action you've been driven or felt driven to take, or chance that you've been driven to take, is particularly in business, and whoever's doing the business with the mushrooms or has had the idea of doing so, go for it, please. You can thank me later. I'm only kidding, but you can thank yourself later for sure. It brings in good energy. It's this Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands doesn't know what the journey entails. He knows that it has a certain destination in mind, but actually willing to dance in the journey, willing to take in the different corners and different avenues. And it's those actions that you take that you look back on and think, wow, if I'd never driven to there, if I'd never gotten out of the car at that time, I would have never met this person, or I would have never started this, or this wouldn't have happened. And it's one of those times where you can't see the bigger picture, and you don't need to necessarily with this Knight of Wands, but just taking the action and being in flow with it brings something, many things that are good and that you didn't expect, but that you've attracted in to add to the experience and the abundance of the experience. So that's the reading for the 23rd. Hey, Lucky Stone. That's the reading for the 23rd of March 2021. I'm going to quickly pull, because there's not that many people in the chat. I don't know if other people are still here, but I'm going to take who's here now. So we've got Truth Seeker, Lucky Stone, Higher Mind, Paul, Peter. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for you guys for today. So I'm just going to work from the bottom to the top. Lucky Stone. Lucky Stone. What's Lucky Stone need to know today to reach the highest potentials of his journey? So we've got the 9 of Wands for you, Lucky Stone. So there's a little bit of a drained energy, a little bit of a need to stop and discern the direction that you want to go in next, to take in all of the accounts of how you've gotten to where you are thus far. And there's some kind of decision that you need to make about a certain direction that you need to go in today, that would that you need to just take some time to stop and discern before you make that decision going forward in the direction that you want to go in. The 6 of Coins, there's mushrooms on this ground. I don't know if you're the one that's into mushrooms, Lucky Stone, but the 6 of Coins is on the bottom of the deck. So this is where there's generosity coming in, or there's generosity that you are gifting forward. Again, be very discerning about where you put your pentacles. Your pentacles entail your time, your energy, your blood, your sweat, your tears. So it's very strong in magic as to where we put our pentacles, because they contain so many of our elements one way or the other. And so be discerning where you put this energy, and don't be afraid to take your time before you put that energy or those pentacles into the next direction. You take your time to allow all of the information to filter through. So that's the card for you. Skyhawk, can we get some good news? The good news is we're all here together, and you know, we've still got a voice, and we still we've got a lot of we've got a lot of gifts that have come in regarding our spiritual growth and ascension. So Paul from Newcastle, Paul, you're still here. Paul from Newcastle, what does Paul from Newcastle, you need another deck. What does Paul from Newcastle need to know? What does Paul need to know to reach his highest potentials today? Knight of Swords. Okay, so there's a certain drive to you today, Paul. There's certain things that need to be said. There's certain things that need to be put out there, maybe to family members. I'm not too sure on that. But again, you've got the Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So be in flow with this, but let your words flow, let your voice be heard. It's something that you need to get off your chest, and it's fast and furious. Now, do be aware of this energy can make you feel fast and furious. So still be discerning about how you put it out there, how you word it, but be in flow with it and be still true to yourself. So there's that balance that is key there for you today. I hope that helps for you today. You're welcome, Lucky Stone. Higher Mind Creations. Higher Mind Creations. What does Higher Mind Creations? Oh boy, you need a different deck, Higher Mind. Okay. Higher Mind Creations. What does Higher Mind Creations need to know to reach the highest potentials? Have direction through the day today. Oh wow, we've got the High Priestess. So there's a lot in the hidden for you today. There's a lot of knowledge coming forward for you today. Actually, really listen out to your subconscious, really listen out to your inner voice, but also certain things coming through for you today that are connected to very deep healing, even generational healing, certain things that have been hidden either within yourself or around situations, that there's information out from the woodwork that helps you process this, that helps you really deliver really deep healing and wholeness to yourself today. So be aware of that. Also, there's something about you being in connection with loved ones past and ancestral past lines, that you just, there's this connection to your higher consciousness of where you're able to see more beyond the veil today. There's certain things that are really, you're welcome, Paul, that are really coming through for you. Be in connection with your divine feminine side. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Don't doubt your intuition today at all. Certain links being made. So the building of this knowledge in your reality from the occult, from the hidden, from the underneath, is coming to the fore, in particular that involves the heart chakra. So I hope that helps you. That's very powerful for you, and very great for you today. But you know, it's energy to be moved through for sure. So who have we got next? I'm banging on this door, sorry. Sky Heart, Sky Heart, Sky Heart, Sky Heart. What does Sky Heart need to know today for the highest potential of Sky Heart's day? Okay, you've got the Six of Wands. There's a certain sense of victory for you today, Sky Heart, but you need to be able to ride that wave of victory and really dig deep into that feeling of victory, of overcoming, of achieving. Really feed into that energy in order to be able to manifest even more, to be attracted to you. Don't be afraid. It feels like you are an achiever. It feels like you are this beautiful person that has this deeper sense of self, this deeper knowledge, and that you do create and do brilliant things, a lot of it under the veil of other people. You don't brag about it, but that's over exaggerated a little bit in you maybe. So learning how to also ride the wave of victory and appreciate that energy that is coming to you because of what you've put out there, because of what you've done. Be passionate about it, really dig deep into it and enjoy it. because that is would take a little bit away from the people pleasing side and give you that power that you very much deserve within self, which will manifest even more victory, even more power. On the bottom of the deck, you've got the King of Cups. So this is energy of where you are very compassionate, very loving, but very much an emotionally balanced person. And you're in charge of your emotions rather than your emotions being in charge of you. And I feel that that's where this victory has come from, that you have leveled up to a point where you can be observant, like you said, of news that isn't so great. We want some good news. But you're not in a place where you used to be years ago, where your heart would literally ache for seeing such things or hearing such things. You've learned how to transmute that emotional self, that emotional body. Hey, Trina, beautiful lady. So that's super powerful for you, but don't be afraid to ride that wave and give yourself some kudos, because that feeds back into you, and it means you can project out even more of those beautiful rainbows that you put out so regularly. So who is next? Trina, I'll get you too. I'm going to go up the list so I don't miss anybody first. Truth Seeker. So I haven't done Truth Seeker, have I? No. Truth Seeker. So Truth Seeker, hey honey, what does Truth Seeker need to know to reach the highest potentials for today? What does Truth Seeker need to know? Truth Seeker, the High Priestess for you too, and the Six of Wands for you on the bottom of the deck. You know, you are coming into real victories in that you are a very spiritually ascended person, and you are in great understanding, understanding of the hidden, of the occult, and in particular this divine feminine energy and the power of it. And there's a certain victory there for you today with your divine feminine being exalted in some kind of way. That I feel like you're going to speak to somebody today where you just impart such knowledge and you feel the gratitude from that, and that is going to keep paying you forward. You give them a bolt of knowledge that they can work forward with, that they can build upon. And so this is beautiful for you. And again, for you, same words. Don't be afraid to ride that victory. Don't be afraid to pump yourself up and feel good when you walk away from that conversation today, because you are a beautiful person and you have a great understanding of things, and you impart wisdom on a regular basis in the chat underneath my videos, and I appreciate that so much. But be aware of that today and don't be afraid to ride the wave of it. Peter, Songbird Peter. So Songbird Peter, does Peter need to know? Okay. So the Three of Wands for you, Peter, and this is where there's certain avenues that could be open to you that haven't been open before, certain opportunities, certain ways forward where the horizon is opening up. But it takes you again to get that fire within, to go forward with it, to look into it, to not procrastinate, but to look forward, particularly for different kinds of contracts, different ways of doing business, different ways of shipping things, of being able to create easier links to get things done. But taking action for sure. The procrastination has to not be there today. Go with your actions, go with your gut, and go with your intuitive side, particularly if this is towards a divine feminine in your life. You know, take action on it, speak out on it, and speak passionately and open about it, but more so be in connection. Also, you've got your divine masculine energy here, your fiery energy here, something about Sagittarius, but then being in connection with your divine feminine waters, where you are in connection with your intuition and you're not in doubt of your intuition. intuition, and you just show deep compassion, and you're such a compassionate man, and that is appreciated by those around you today, and it's appreciated that for people who adore you, people here, to see you do really well and look at different opportunities that are unveiling themselves. You just need to take action on them. Who was, I think that was it. Is that Trina next? Trina, yeah. If I've missed anybody, would you just shout out in the chat room if I've gone past anybody? Because I don't want to miss one person. I think I've gotten everybody. So what does Trina needs? Another deck? I see this deck, the garden deck. What does Trina need to know today? What does Trina need to know today to reach the highest potentials? And just give her the highlights of what needs to be said or done today. Trina. No, that's not it. Trina. King of Cups for Trina and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, so you are taking real authority over emotions today, but I feel that you're doing it on behalf of somebody else, that you are going to be asked or just know that you need to step in, even if you're not even in the physical space of this person, Trina. There's this energy of you coming in as this King of Cups with the authority and with the ability and knowledge of how to channel your emotions rather than your emotions channeling you, but on behalf of this person, if that makes sense to you. Like you're standing in the space in authority to protect somebody else's emotions, to be that divine masculine energy, to give that almost protection, it feels like. So I don't know who that is for you, or even if they've popped up today, or it's going to be later today, but be aware of that. There's this energy where you come in like with this spiritual authority, and you sort of stand in that space, stand in that way, of being a more knowing person in this realm than the person that you're doing it for. Let's put it that way. We've got the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Somebody's working real hard, and they are attaining, they are achieving, but maybe forgetting to tend to their emotional body, and that's where you're stepping in. That's where you're sort of highlighting the need for that, and being that as emotional authority, father-like figure in this person's life today. And that's powerful, and you know you help everywhere you go, and so you probably already know who this is. I won't go into it anymore to not give away anything to anybody who might listen. You do a great job at doing that, and I think you've done this many times before, so you know what I'm talking about, and you know you're going to do just fine at it. And thank you for doing that for that person. It's a thing of love. I appreciate you all. Have I missed anybody? Oh, thank you. Hi, in Mind Creations. Yeah, smash the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to do more lives as and when I can, time allowing with the boys. So thank you for being here while I jumped on. I appreciate it all so much. I'm just going to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Have a Hi, in Mind. We got you. Trina, beautiful, we got you. Paul, we got you. Lucky Storm, we got you. Skyheart, yes, we got you. Truth Seeker, yep. I think that's it. And we got Peter, didn't we? Did I get Peter? Yes, I got Peter. He got the 3 of Wands. Yeah. So that's everybody. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Have the best day. Be you. Don't be afraid to be you. let yourself free and be the Knight of Wands. Be creative, be loving and compassionate, and let's see where the journey takes you. To be in flow today, and we'll create good things, but also be in authority for what is going on from the so-called powers that be, and the way that they are really channeling their powers to stamp down the freedom of speech more so today, under the guise of, we love you so much, we're protecting women's rights, we're protecting this right and that right, and actually it's a weapon against. So we do need to stand up and make noise. Mom is the one you were right on. Oh, thank you, Trina, appreciate you. Lucky Stone, you too, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And hi, mind, you're all welcome. I love you all. I'm going to go now and hopefully get on later, because I want to do the video on the blue, the visions I've been having about the blue, the downloads in a standards I've been having about the blue, then the research about the blue. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a lot in the blue. And so I'm going to put that on there. Thank you, Trina. Love you too. Thank you. Isaac, you've just popped in. You can't go without a card. Okay, which deck for Isaac? Egyptian. I'm gonna go with the Egyptian deck for Isaac. What does Isaac, and then I'll go, I promise. What does Isaac need to know to reach the highest potentials of today? What does Isaac need to know? Highlight of the day. Oh, dropping cards. Does Isaac need to have an awareness, a foresight of? Can I just mention to everybody, Isaac is the guy that I said at the start of the video that I had the pleasure of meeting, and that is going to allow me to be on his radio show on Sunday, which is super, super generous and kind. He has great guests on, and I'm going in there, so we'll see. But he is a very talented man and a very talented astrologer. I've been looking at his website. So if you need any astrology, blue diamond, yes, Trina, that's come up too. If you need any kind of astrology guidance, and he does a lot of other things too, look him up, Isaac George. Isaac, stick your website in that chat room. Isaac, okay, you got the Knight of Pentacles, Isaac, and the Two of Chalices. So there's planning that needs to be done today. There's certain thinking forward, thinking into the future, and I think we spoke about it a bit, but it belongs with the Pentacles, very much in destination. There's certain energies that you're feeling and that you know about, with your astrology background. There's certain things that you're picking up on that you need to start making the plans and being very strategic about it, being very pentacly about it, not fast moving, not moving at speed, excuse me, but putting plans in motion, putting discussions out there, having a look at directions, destinations, and making that making an awareness of destinations and the pros and cons. That came up yesterday, I know, but I can't change the cards, and this is something that is weighing more on your mind, not heavy, but weighing more on your mind. You're taking more account to it, and so you should. The Two of Cups is beautiful on the bottom of the deck. This is speaking of what I did in the daily readings there, this relationship that is whole, that does have a balance to it and does have reciprocity to it and does represent both the divine feminine, divine masculine within each of you, and actually those four coming together to create a whole. So two wholes coming together to create another whole, which is due to the work that you've done and your partner has done to be balanced and to be whole. And from this space, you very much more easily than others can create strategy, can be planning, can have things in the works, and not be too spontaneous and too reactionary, but to be able to look at the pros and cons very much in a balanced way, from a balanced place. These discussions I would advise happen together today, that they're brought up and talked about today with your partner, and so that things can just be growing, things can just be mulling over, and that manifestations can start to happen. And I back the intent for you that whatever direction you go in, you reach abundance and beauty wherever you go. I hope that helps for you, Isaac. Thank you so much for being here. No, I will be happy to hear your information on the blue. Nothing is crazy. It's all important for us to know. Thank you, Lucky Stone. I'm going to do it, even if I have to just do a series of videos, because I keep taking notes. And now the note pile on blue is getting like bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think it's something that I can keep looking at. And I think I just need to dive into it and do a video, and then see if I need to do a follow-up video, you know, after that. Okay, Disha, I promise I'm going to go after you, because I hate leaving people out, but I need to go, so I'm going to do one for you, not that one, because that card dropped somewhere I can't get to easily without doing some acrobatics. So Disha, what does Disha, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, need to know for today? What highlight does Disha need to have for today to reach the highest potentials in any given situation? Disha. Wow, your cards are popping off. Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords for you, Disha, and so this is a message of truth. This is a very energetic energy. This is a very a truth-seeking energy, very busy in the realm of seeking of truth, of wanting information, of wanting to receive and give information to others. And so thank you. I don't pronounce things right all of the time. So yes, this is where we see that you are seeking truth in a very energetic way, and truth is coming to you. Now, some of this truth revolves around something that needs to be healed, something that needs to be looked at again. Maybe I'm feeling family issues, and so this is where one of the wisdoms within this energy, this reading for you, is that you can give truth, yes, but it's up to that person whether they're in a place or are able to share that truth or understand that truth. What you can do all of the time is have your own truths and use that to heal the aspect of you in any given situation. You can't heal somebody else. You can just guide and be there, give the information forward. But what this energy can do maybe is be a little bit too energetic and cast the pearls before swine. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean that if you give in wisdom to somebody who is not ready to hear it, who is not ready to receive it, then you're going to it's bad energetic feedback, because they're not able to process the information. It can often cause rifts in relationships with others, and so, you know, be very discerning as to how and where you speak out your truth, and how much, when a lot of it could be directed right at you to create real huge growth and healing today of a certain situation, particularly of the past. So look at that today for you. It would be big for you to let go of whatever it is that needs to be let go of, now that you can see a different perspective and a different truth to any given situation that resonates with you there. Lucky Stone, I cannot wait to hear what you have to share about the blue. Oh, thank you, Lucky Stone. Once you put it out there, you can always come back with updates and clarity later. There is a lot happening. You're so right, Lucky Stone. And I've got these visions coming in, and I've got notes on this, notes on that. And I think you're right. I just need to let it flow out there now, and then add to it, clarify it, you know, at a later date. I appreciate that so much, and that you want to hear about it. Thank you. So I hope that helps you, Disha. I'm going to just quickly find, I'll go off the screen, but I think I'll still be there. You're welcome, Disha. I'm going to quickly find Isaac's link, because I'm not sure if he's still there to see the chat room. Okay, I've got it. I'll just check it's the right one. Yep, it's the right one. So I'll copy that. Look at me getting good at where am I going? Here, and I'll paste it there. And so that is the link for Isaac George. Check him out. I met him yesterday, again through the beautiful Gaia and Paul, and a lovely guy. And I can't wait to be on his radio show. So I'll drop the links to that when he's got all of that up there, when I've got them. But I'll appreciate you all being there listening. Yay, Trina, yeah, it's happening. You're welcome, Skyheart, you're welcome. You're going to say bye to everybody, Messy Hair? Come on then, I'm in this one. Look, I'll show you where you are. There you are. Bye. Much love. Stay balanced and stay whole. Mwah. Love you all.